Alright, this is a review of the Craftsman 15-piece metric wrench set. I have a wrench set that I've been putting together through scraps that I found along the way, but I decided that I wanted a full set of wrenches for all of my projects that I do in and around the garage at home. I work part-time at a shop, and I'm able to use great stuff like Snap-on and Mac tools, and I like SK. But at home here, I wanted a set that I thought would be good quality, but also on a budget. And so I chose the Craftsman 15-piece metric set. So this is the box for it. It comes with a full lifetime warranty, and I'll get into that a little bit later. These ones have durable thick handles, 15-degree offset, and that's about it. It doesn't really say much more about it on the box. When you open it up, which I already have, it basically comes with a set of wrenches in the cardboard, and they don't really come with anything else, just the set of wrenches. And so if you get good quality without the holder, I'm totally cool with that. We're gonna take a look at the wrenches, we're gonna run it through some tests today and see what we think. So here are the wrenches out of the box. I bought these cheap wrench holders so I had a place to organize them, and you can see the set comes with everything from 8mm through to 22, no skips. So my initial impression is that these are pretty nice wrenches. One of the things that you might notice here is with the set here. With the set here, you'll notice on that side they're lined up, and on this side they're not so consistent. They've got kind of a choppiness going on, and especially when you get to this one, which is the 18, it's almost about the same size as the 17. It's not really in between in a 17 and a 19. And I also noticed that it's kind of scuffed up there, and these are brand new. Haven't used these at all. It's a little bit scuffed up there. So the initial impression there around quality control is probably that they could use a bit more control. But otherwise, you know, I'm looking at the set. 15 is the one that I use most. And you know, overall, it feels pretty good in the hand. You know, I personally prefer the slimmer profiles of the Snap-ons, the SK, the Mac tools. But these ones with a thicker handle, they feel just fine. I don't think they're going to prevent me from getting into any tight spots that I'm normally getting into. And as well, if the thicker handle means that they'll be stronger while I have a wrench extension attached to them, which is what I normally do for leverage, I think I'll be all right with that. So initial impression is that these are fairly good quality, well made, and I think I'm going to enjoy using them. Okay, so things I like about the wrenches. First of all, I do like that they've stamped the sizing right on the open end there. The overall wrenches, they feel pretty good in your hand. They feel like they're good quality. I do like this satin chrome finish. Most of my tools are polished chrome, and so when I'm getting dirty and stuff's getting greasy, they're getting pretty grimy and slippery, and I think these might hold up a little bit better. I also like that this is a full set, so it goes from 8mm all the way through to 22mm. A lot of times you get the budget wrench set, and they'll be missing like a 16mm, an 18, and a 20mm to cut costs. But in this case, I have a full set from 8 all the way through to 22mm. I do like that overall the open end as well as the box end are somewhat slim, so I don't think they're going to prevent me from getting into any tight spaces. Again, the handle I mentioned is kind of thicker, so that's more of a personal preference. And then lastly, of course, I like the lifetime warranty. So Craftsman has lifetime warranty. They're going to replace any of these broken or defective wrenches for the lifetime of the unit. Now, things I don't particularly like about this wrench set. First of all, it didn't come with a holder. Again, that's not a deal breaker. I bought these cheapo holders for a couple of bucks, so not a big deal. The inconsistent quality. So there is, although I say they feel really good, and they do, you know, the overall, the lengths of these, the fact that it has some imperfections in the head coming out of the factory, from a quality control perspective, I think they just need a bit more quality, so to speak. Aside from that, one thing to note about the lifetime warranty is if you go to Lowe's and you want to warranty a broken wrench, you need to bring the entire set. They told me if I want to replace one wrench, I need to bring the entire set, and they'll swap out the entire set because that's how they receive them from Craftsman. If we go to Craftsman directly, we want to replace a single broken wrench, that's no problem. We contact Craftsman, we're going to send it to them, and they're going to send us an individual wrench replacement. Okay, let's see what these feel like on a few 10mm nuts and bolts here. So here I've got the 10mm And here's a PCV valve. So I'm just gonna put this on here. Let's see, there's a little bit of play, which is actually pretty normal for a 10 mil. I've tried that with sockets with other wrenches, and they always have just a little bit of play. There's not usually a ton of torque on a 10 millimeter bolt, so it's not like you need it to be that tight for it to still be effective. So overall, it's kind of what I expect. And then let's see the open end. So just a little bit of play, which is kind of what I'd expect from a 10 millimeter wrench. So here's a 12 millimeter nut. Just gonna put the wrench on there. Yeah, there's a bit of play there. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give this a try here. I know that this nut is torqued to 28 foot-pounds. So let's see if we can loosen that up and tighten it back up again. Okay, so no problem loosening it. Just tighten it back up. I think we're good to go. Okay, as luck would have it, I also have a 14 millimeter bolt here. So as you can see, I've been using this gear wrench. Put it on here. And it's really just a perfect fit. So here's the Craftsman. And this is like a perfectly tight-fitting 14 millimeter. Okay, there's no movement at all. Like, it's totally gripping. And then take a look at the open end, and same thing. There's actually no wiggle room, but this is absolutely perfect. Alright, so the oil drain bolt on my truck is 15 millimeters. So let's see how this wrench does. Kind of more than I'd expect, but quite honestly, I don't think I'm going to have a problem. This bolt is only 18 foot-pounds, so it's really not going to take much effort to crack this open or to tighten it back up, so I think that's going to do just fine. Okay, this is the last one I'm going to show you. The rear shocks on my truck use a 21 millimeter bolt and nut. Okay, a little bit of play. Let's try this other, let's try the nut. Okay, just a little bit. And this will be interesting because I'm actually replacing the rear shocks this year. I'll be using this wrench to hold that nut in place while I impact the bolt to take it out. So the verdict. The verdict. You know, although the quality wasn't perfect, out of the box coming straight from the factory, overall, the build quality, how these feel, I'm actually really looking forward to using these. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this Craftsman wrench set over the next few months, and I'll check back in with you to let you know how they're holding up.